Hello there everyone, it's me, Silver Kibi, making a bit of a different video than usual. Usually I make highly edited, I guess you could call them video essays, but today, you know, I'm feeling a little sick, so you can hear that in my voice, but I want to just kind of walk around in Kamurocho, and this is Judgment, because I wanted to talk about why Judgment, specifically, has probably my favorite version of Kamurocho in the entire series. This is counting both Yakuza and Judgment as like the same kind of series, essentially. So, the first thing I really want to talk about is the fact that you see messages over people's heads as you walk by. To me, this is really cool, because it actually allows you to know what people in Kamurocho are kind of thinking about right now. And it can also influence, you know, parts of your gameplay. So this guy over here, he was saying like, oh, yeah, wanna head up the arcade, play some Kamuro of the Dead? Sure, I guess if I go to the arcade, you know, imagine I'm playing this game for the first time. I go to the arcade, I'm like, what was he talking about? I don't remember a game being called. Oh wow, and there we go, there's Kamuro of the Dead. As a player, you can now learn from the environment, and that directly allows the exploration of the map itself to feel more cohesive, as well as actually, you know, just making Kamurocho feel a little more alive. And I think that's really cool. Yep, another great example. They put a smoking area for a reason. I mean, yes, that is just something people would say, but it's also because you can go and buy some cigarettes, which I have to do. So we'll go buy some cigarettes. And this is because in Judgment, you can actually purchase cigarettes. So for Yagami, you buy 7 stars, and in future games, like the Kaito files, I think Kaito has a different brand that he buys. I'm not 100% sure, but, you know. So now we can go over to a smoking area. Let's go to the one down here. I am just now realizing that the smoking area I am thinking of is a Lost Judgment edition. I'll go to the other one real quick. Okay, so now we walk up here, and there we go, there's the smoking area. And if we decide to go for a smoke, it will, you know, play a little animation. But most importantly, it'll refill your EX gauge. So you don't have to use any staminans or items or anything like that. And you get little pieces of dialogue of the people who you're smoking with, which I think is really interesting. It really does make the game feel more alive to have their speech bubbles or text messages above their head. And I really love that because, again, you know, Kamurocho, you only ever interact with Kamurocho in gameplay typically when you're fighting someone. Because then all of a sudden, oh, this bike that they put here, that's not just there for decoration, that's so that you can pick it up in a fight and hit someone with it. But now they're also doing that with the out-of-battle stuff, where you can actually still get influenced by the surroundings in the world. And another way that they do this is with the friend system. Because Judgment has a friendship system. There's, I think, 50 or so people around the map you can be friends with. And this guy right here is one of them. So if we walk up to him, we can say hi. So I'm just gonna walk the opposite way. Oh, hey. And I think that also fills your EX gauge, which is really, like, it doesn't do much, but it really helps in making this, you know, the world of Kamurocho feel alive. And it doesn't just come in regular gameplay, because now when we're fighting, we have our friends who will help us out and fight with us. So this is another one of the friendships you can do. I think these are part of the friendships that are part of like a sub-story. And these ones, you know, they get you a character who will help fight with you in combat, which I think is really cool. It really does help emphasize the idea that Yagami is just kind of a local, you know, he's a local hero. Everyone just kind of likes him and gets along with him. And that's my ninja friend, you know? Another thing that this game adds that none of the other games have, including Lost Judgment for some reason, is they tried to add parkour elements to the map. So as you can see here, where there's blue tarp, that is where you can parkour over them, and it makes traversal really fun because now you can jump around a little more. There's a little bit more verticality to what you can do in this game. And I just think that's really cool. And one of the places that they use this, which I think is really fun, is Little Asia. So for those of you who maybe haven't played all the Yakuza games, or, you know, have only really played some of the newer stuff, Little Asia is an area that it's very 50-50 whether or not it's explorable in a game. Usually this will just be barred off and you won't be able to jump in and there's nothing there. And in some of the older games there's like a whole little tunnel system, because obviously it's supposed to be like a little kind of hidden part of Kamurocho. But after the events of Yakuza 6, spoilers I suppose, there's a little bit of construction going on. But thankfully we still have access to it. We can still run around in this area. There's nothing here besides a smoking area right here with these workers, which I can't access because I just smoked. But I still think it's cool regardless to have little areas like this that you can interact with. It works well for if you're getting chased and you don't want to fight someone. You can use it as a quick getaway because this area is quite closed off in terms of escape routes. It's really cool. I really like just how much interactivity there is with Kamurocho in this game. And speaking of which, there's a lot of little areas that you can explore in this game that you can't in the others. So this is the locksmith store, where in the game you can accept jobs to pick people's locks for XP, I think. So that's a cute little store. Of course, one thing you have in Judgment and Lost Judgment that you don't have in the other games is the Yagami Detective Agency, which is really cool. You know, you can customize your room with a bunch of cats like I have. You can go to your record and listen to some music, which you get from doing friendships, and also in other collectible stuff like pawn shops and the dice game. In the PS4 version of the game, this is a pinball machine, but in the PC ports and the PS5 version, Xbox Series X, it's just an arcade machine. So I guess that is kind of cool. I like that. What am I saying? I don't know. This isn't the type of video I usually make. So I apologize if I'm a little scattered with my thoughts. Here's another little area that's used in the story that I think is kind of cool that it lets you explore afterwards. Usually when you explore an area in a Yakuza game for like a story purpose, it's usually blocked off after the game kind of doesn't need it anymore, but that's not the case in this game for certain places, and I think that's really cool. We can just walk into this bar, you know, it's empty, there's nothing in here, and we go through the staff-only exit. Again, there's not much here. There's a little piece of trash you can pick up, but it's the fact that it's still here and still accessible that kind of, I don't know, it adds to the world, I feel. Just having these little nooks and crannies that you can explore and walk around in. Now, something I find interesting is that in the Yakuza franchise, Kamurocho has only ever been the main focal city in, I think, 2 or 3 games at a push. Essentially, the only games from the top of my head that just have Kamurocho, they don't have any other explorable area, is Yakuza 1 or Kiwami 1, Yakuza 4, and Judgment, which I think is interesting. Because the fact that it gets so much attention to detail in this game, they really have time to dedicate polishing and making Kamurocho feel lived in, and I really like that. Especially with stuff like the aforementioned friend system. Because you're able to, you know, oh, I'll go play Mahjong. But I'm not just playing Mahjong, I'm also learning about Eureka here. And as I play the game, I learn more about characters that I talk to, and it's you know, it's cool. A lot of Yakuza games sort of just have these minigames to be minigames. There's no characters attached to it, except for maybe Kiwami 1, where Majima tends to be attached to, like, most things in that game. You know, we got the big bull. You can you can play. Oh, yeah, they moved that in Yakuza 7? Judgment? Lost Judgment? I don't know. This is Kim's diner. There's Kim. If you've played if you've played Judgment, you'll know him very well. Because another part of this game is the gang system, which I don't think I have unlocked yet in the story. It's not too interesting, but essentially, you know, there'll be a gang meter, it'll fill up, and then it'll be like, oh, go fight one of the bosses. It's kind of repetitive and annoying at times, but I like the idea that it allows you to replay boss fights from sub-stories if you want to. Another thing is the tower, the iconic Millennium Tower. I don't know why it took me that long to figure that out. But the Millennium Tower, this game, is where the drone races are hosted. So there's a nice little area down here. Then, of course, we have, you know, this new area with the side cafe, which I think was still a part of Yakuza 6. But one thing about the tower that I don't think was in Yakuza 6, though, correct me if I'm wrong, I'll probably do some research after editing this, and I'll put it up there, is this area here, the gardens. This is one of the most beautiful parts of the game. I really love this area, and it's really sad that it doesn't get used that much. Because, like, just look how pretty this is. It's so relaxed, it's so calm. You know, you can walk over here and kind of look out onto the city. You know, it's lovely. I really, really like this area. I don't know. I just think that Judgment's Kamurocho feels very lived in. It really does have that feeling that, you know, this is a real breathing, living city. More so than the rest of the series. And that's not to say that the rest of the series have bad Kamurochos, far from it. Every game's Kamurocho is slightly different in some way that makes it special. Like, Lost Judgment has cats in it. Yakuza Like a Dragon has the dungeons in Kamurocho. Infinite Wealth has the memories that kind of give a bit more context to areas of the city. Yakuza 5 is a game with something in it. I don't really remember if Yakuza 5 does anything. I guess Yakuza 5 has the van in the corner. One thing that this game is missing out on, it is missing the Coliseum battles and Purgatory, whatever. But that's okay. I don't really like Purgatory personally, but I guess that is a good counterpoint to saying why this isn't the perfect Kamurocho. But unlike Yakuza 6, which was the first Dragon Engine game to include Kamurocho, you can actually explore the... Wait, was it this part you couldn't explore, or was it... I think it was up here, actually. I think in Yakuza 6, you didn't have access to this part of the map, to Kamuro Hills. Also, I don't know if this is just me, but I really hope that they actually do something with Kamuro Hills at some point. I want to be able to just go in here. This is Yakuza's biggest wasted opportunity right here. It's so sad. Another thing they have in this game, obviously you got the game center, which is pretty tied in with the story of this game. I really like its aesthetics. I think it's a nice vibe, and I think the little gacha machines you can use they're pretty cool. I like them. But they're also in Lost Judgment, so it's not like a unique thing to just this game. Another thing that actually is unique about this game that I don't know if I'm going to be able to get is the fact that if you take too long during fights, you can alert the police. So I will cut to when that happens. And if it doesn't, blame Ryan, because he's definitely the reason why I didn't get it to happen. He's right behind me, isn't he? Oh, there we go. So now the police are gonna come if I don't finish this quick enough. Which is this is really cool. And it's like, oh shit, like this is a real place. This would really happen if a fight broke out in the middle of the street next to a thing. So now the police are gonna start chasing us, and we have to run away. Gulp. It's not very hard to lose them. But, let's see if I can get captured here. Yeah, there we go. I got captured. You can struggle and get them off. And keep running. Or, if I don't struggle, I'm gonna get arrested. It's such a funny scene. It's so silly. I really like it. I think it adds so much to the game. It's not something you'll see in normal gameplay. I think anyone who plays this game casually will never get. You know, I don't think anyone's ever actually gotten caught by them without it being their, you know, their intention to get caught. Because you do need to have the police chase you to activate one of the friendships. But I think it's really awesome because it means that it is a punishment if you're taking too long. But again, I think the time gap's a little too lenient. I can't really think of anything much else to say, so thank you for watching. I know this isn't really the type of video I usually make. You know, making videos is tough. Takes motivation. I don't got none right now. So I thought I'd just make this little video talking about my opinions and the fact that I really like Judgment. It's a really good game. Because I think I don't know. It occurred to me just how unique this game is with its Kamurocho, and I really like it. I hope that we get another game in the future that just sticks to one singular place and just focuses on it. I guess we had that with like Hawaii and Infinite Wealth, but again, it didn't focus on it. I guess Pirate Yakuza kind of did? I don't know. Anyway, thank you for watching. Do whatever you do on YouTube, subscribing, liking, punching your teacher, I don't know. And remember, always eat your vegetables. Alright, see you later, bye.